original election interference, classified documents, hush money, and the January 6th insurrection. Those are the 4 I see right now. That's from Politico. That was as of June. So there's...
So he's got more since then.
Yeah.
How many has he gotten overall since he became, since he started running originally and then became president? I thought he got like indicted or no, he was president. They couldn't indict him, right? They had to impeach him or something. Hell, he got impeached once, didn't he?
I like the way you say you don't wire my dog up.
Well, how am I right? I'm sitting there literally avoiding your dog biting me.
Did you see her sitting on me when she acting any kind of way?
She doesn't love you like she loves me.
Malone, come speak into the mic.
Well,
Politico just has the 4. I can't see a 5th. I'm seeing online so far is just the 4.
Classified documents thing. What happened there?
That was him having all those classified documents in Mar-a-Lago. And like in the shower. Like stuff like that.
Maybe he was having a little personal time in the shower with the documents.
The toilet time is oftentimes that's whenever most people do their reading.
Yeah, except for the fact that I had a top secret clearance when I worked for the Department of Defense. You can't I don't care who you are. You can't take classified documents and just move them around and take them somewhere. And they have to be in top secret documents can only be kept in certain facilities. Basically under lock and key, and only certain people can see them. And then he had him at a resort, which was not secure, in a place where people could access them publicly, and then had them stored in a bathroom. And the best part is that he, and the thing that's always hard with these things is about intent. Is did he have the intent to move them, or did he know that they were classified? It's that's the thing he keeps on playing with. Is I didn't know I should these were this.
Now, the former president is being protected by the Secret Service is not secured. Then you can't get in there.
You think that people aren't in Mar-a-Lago all the time that don't have a you think it takes a clearance to get to Mar-a-Lago? Because that's what secure means. If you need a clearance,
secure is not. The measures that they go through the Secret Service to keep people from killing the president, and the powers that they have at their disposal to control.
This is it. No, this isn't
going into.
You've got to understand that this is not this isn't some hypothetical use of the word secure. This is there's a document, there's documentation on how to store these documents. This documentation is hundreds of pages long. It's mind-numbingly boring. And it's explicit. You cannot keep a confidential, secret, or top secret document unless it meets such requirements. Mar-a-Lago is not secured. It's not a secure government facility. It is not a place
that mumbo jumbo type of stuff. Think about every other one of these presidents and all that gets caught doing something. I'm talking about they do the opposite. They go as far as they can to kind of loosen up the rules and restrictions and all that to make sure that whatever they're being accused of, it's not that big a deal. It doesn't really amount to anything. Nothing serious really happened. When it's Trump, it's the other way around. It's oh yeah, well, if you get down, the word secure has a very definite meaning, hundreds of pages of documents to define this word, and Mar-a-Lago didn't fit that.
I will say that they did. Like, you're right. A lot of people that are higher up in, like, that were presidents and stuff like that, they violated it too. And is Trump, the reason he's getting called out as opposed to other presidents is that when they came and they asked for the documents back, he wouldn't hand them over. They asked again, he wouldn't hand them over.
Well, that's the reason why they're going after him. You know,
They had to get a warrant.
But you didn't give these things back.
No, I'm telling you, they gave him an out. He chose to get an indictment.
Oh, that sounds like a load of horse crap. I can't believe that they gave him an out. They've been going after this guy nonstop for what, 8-9 years now. They've how many times have the media said, we've got him? I mean, this is it. This is the one. There was the whole Russia investigation saying that he was colluding with Russia and all that. That turned out to be a load of horse crap. Then there was the Ukrainian thing where he was conspiring to get the president of Ukraine to go after Joe Biden. I mean, it was just one after the other. It seemed like every month they had a brand new thing that was supposed to be the thing that's going to get rid of Donald Trump. And all of a sudden now, you know what? We wanted to give you an out.
Well, you can believe it or not. I just know you want to look up the history of people who've gotten in trouble with classified documents. You can.
How can you believe anything these people are telling you?
How can you believe? I don't. Yeah, I know it because I worked with classified documents. And I know the shit that I would get into if I withheld classified documents when they came calling for them. The thing is they wouldn't give me a chance. If I was caught with classified documents when I was working in the Department of Defense, if they caught me or someone snitched on me and told me that they had classified documents on me, I would be arrested, which is what normally happens. And then that's it. Well, they asked.
You're not one of these. Oh, that was pretty impressive. You see that dog loop there? I mean, that cleared everything. That was
see that.
That was some agility. Anyways, you're you, Ryan. You're not a president or a senator or something like that. I'm talking about, and if you compare the treatment of Donald Trump to any other person that's a major league figure in politics, I think it's quite obvious that he's being targeted. You know that someone somewhere doesn't like this guy. They're trying to get rid of him. If not a whole lot of people in the whole lot, if not everybody doesn't like him and just trying to get rid of him.
He's an idiot. That's why.
Well, I'm not saying he is, but is Joe Biden not an idiot?
I
can't believe that anybody ever voted for Joe Biden. I mean, this man's been in politics for 50-something years. This guy's been, I mean, since before I was born, he was already a congressman. And this guy, or senator, whatever the hell he is. And the dude's been there forever. He's been vice president already for 8 years. If there's a freaking problem in this country, it's probably his fault, not something he can.
It's not even the president's fault, really, when you get right down to it. It's the fucking House and the Senate. They're the ones that call the fucking shots. Well, the president is just a puppet.
He's been a member of the House and Senate forever. Since before the two of us were born, that guy was there.
It's the people you don't see that are controlling the show.
And he is definitely he is an obvious puppet for these people.
I mean, they all are.
I don't know. I think that's what I kind of think that might be what they don't like Donald Trump about, is that he's not. I mean, he might be doing his own thing. He might be, lining his own pockets or whatever the hell he might be doing. I don't know. But
Malone, let's go historically. Let's just talk historically. What has Reagan done and Bush done and Clinton done and Bush done and then Obama done and Trump done? They've all done these same things. They've all increased military spending.
Yep.
They've all increased border security.
Yep.
They've all increased criminality. They've all reduced social welfare spending. They've all done the same shit. All of them.
Up.
Yep. They like to lock people up. They like to take away their welfare. And they like to spend money on defense. And it goes all to the same people. All of them. Now, occasionally, there's some people who want to do something different. Like Andrew Yang wanted to give people universal wages. He got shot down real quick, along with a whole bunch of handful of people all at the same time who wanted to talk about that. All of a sudden, Joe Biden comes in and he's a hero. But, yeah, we didn't hear about that.
Bernie Sanders, didn't he want to do something similar?
Bernie Sanders also, he said the word socialism, and that was the end of his universe.
Yeah, because they said socialism, they said communist.
Yeah, well, they say either way. It doesn't matter because it's...
He actually said the word socialist. He actually talked about socialized healthcare, and he went about and got it passed. He did, though.
Yeah, and all the things that Biden's trying to run on that's to get him reelected are all things that other candidates have tried to do that are not currently elected because they are popular, but they don't get him elected. They are not things that Trump is doing because Trump essentially, as dramatic as he is, which the media loves, they eat it up. That's why we see it all the time. Yeah. They eat it up, but they love it. But essentially, Trump does the same shit that Biden does. They do essentially the same thing. They just do different forms of it.
I'm having a hard time swallowing it. There's something about what you just said that just doesn't sit all the way right with me. But I don't even watch the news or pay any attention to politics at all. So I'm no expert on it. I ain't stretch the imagination. But
I'm more concerned. I mean, who cares? Let's talk about like the heat in prison and no air conditioning.
That would be a great topic, actually.
What's the subject again?
You know, or people dying in prison because they're getting improper health care.
That is actually, yeah.
Or how Texas Correctional Industries has so many different things that they sell to the public, and they use free inmate labor.
We could definitely, we can tie these things together right now because
we mentioned the slavery thing once before.
Yes, but here's a different aspect of it, as Dave was talking about with the heat. We could talk about the fact that they're actually a new thing they're starting is that they've done a study and they found that actually employers are now considering climate change in factoring it into their bottom line because they're finding that employees don't do as well when they're hot and under extreme heat. Surprisingly.
Don't do as well when they're hot.
Yeah. So they actually found that when they're under extreme heat for any amount of time, it reduces productivity by 30%.
Well, at TDC, they have a solution for this. It's not really heat. It's that they're just not punishing you enough.
Well, here's the thing. You can get graphics done, cardboard boxes, custom printing, folders, laser engraved awards, signs, awards, and plastics. You can get janitorial supplies, brooms, brushes, mops, and wax, applicator soaps, and detergents. For garments and textiles, you can get apparel, bags, flags and embroidery, bedding and mattresses, leather goods, linens and piece goods, windscreen and draperies. Oh, let's move on to furniture. This is all from Texas Correctional Industries. Chairs, podiums, courtroom, furniture, designs in wood, dorm line series, English series, fabric samples, chair glides, molded plastics, flip text lounge, great gift ideas. Man, it just goes on. Modular furniture, office systems, sit-stand workstations. For metal, you can get detection and security, dump truck and tarps, accessories, fencing, kitchen and food service supplies, miscellaneous. Man, it goes on and on. Aluminum bleachers, auditorium seating, braille transcribing, bus renovation, computer recovery, furniture refurbishing. Wow, that's crazy. This is all things provided to you by Texas Correctional Industries, which is using inmate labor.
I work for them, I know.
Yeah.
Hell, I built the machines at some of those things.
Hey, they have fucking showrooms. Are you kidding? They have a showroom in Huntsville.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. And one in Austin.
At least 41 people have died in Texas prisons this year. That's as of August, according to the Texas
This year
Tribune.
alone, 41 people have died due to heat.
Due to heat.
That doesn't surprise me. I mean, people die that's the weirdest thing about Texas prisons too, is that, I mean, y'all have been there, so y'all know, as soon as the weather starts to turn a little cool, everybody will freak out about the heaters getting turned on. They'll send maintenance people, they'll start buying trucks and everything, and they'll crank the heat back up to 98 degrees inside the building again to stop it from being 73 degrees inside in the fall. And I mean, it is the most insane thing. And no one has ever died in TDC from the cold. No one ever woke up in the morning and asked, hey, what happened to Dave? Well, he froze to death last night. That never happens in TDC. But for some reason, that is a priority. All the money that they have on any kind of a environmental thing is going to be directed towards heating. But the 44 people die in a year and they don't care. Man, they know in 2011 that heat wave that they had that was similar to this one. It was very close. Then we didn't even have water coolers outside. I mean, in the day rooms, or no one was bringing us cold water to the cells. No one was. They didn't have any fans on the runs or anything like that. They only had like 2 fans in a day room, and it was and every day Warden Mossberger. They started reporting that they had brownouts in the city of Houston due to air conditioning use, excessive electrical use due to the air conditioning needs or refrigeration needs. And so, to help the city of Houston, Warden Mossberger locked all the inmates up at 12 o'clock every day and kept us locked up from 12 till 5 in our cells with the power off. Cut the power off on the unit. So not only even if you did have your own personal fan that you could buy, they cut it off or you couldn't even use it. That happened for 3 months straight in 105 and up temperatures for a straight 90 days. Unbelievable. Everybody was walking around with heat rashes from that ran the course of their entire body. We were just drenched in sweat constantly.
Yeah, heat rash. People don't even know what heat rash is. Because that's not a problem most people even understand, that when you sweat so much and there's nothing and you're just constantly sweating, you will get a rash from it.
Soaked in sweat. I mean, you're like wet all the time. You're never ever a moment that you're dry. For 3 months. It's not good. Not good for your skin.
Right.
And I have sensitive skin to begin. Ask my mom. She will go on and on about how whenever I was a baby, they couldn't use the regular disposable diapers because of my fair Irish skin needing not being able to be wet for any period of time. Oh, it was bad. I had to hand wash your cloth diapers. She's going to hear this and be so upset.
Well,
I'm going to shut up on the head. Thank you, Mom, for. I really appreciate
so
the
there's
diaper thing.
Between 2001 and 2019, there are 271 deaths in Texas prison due to heat.
2001 and 2019?
In that 19-year period, 271 have died.
Wow.
Yeah, all the way until 2011, they didn't even heed heat advisories. I mean, they're like, I can remember.
According to, on August 21st, Texas Department of Criminal Justice says, no prisoner has died from the brutal heat in its facilities since 2012. Of course, they're going to say that.
Yeah, 2000. That scene I was describing happened in 2011. It was brutal, and people did perish from. The funniest thing about that year, every piece of refrigeration and air conditioning on the whole entire unit went out. They couldn't compensate. It could not keep up with the heat. So, places where the guards congregate or the office areas where the wardens and secretaries and all that are air conditioned on a prison unit. The education department is also air conditioned. The infirmary is air conditioned, and the chapel. Where else is there any other air conditioning?
School, church.
That's education, and that's the chapel.
Yeah, and then education, and then depending on where you work. I was always a clerk, so we had air conditioning.
Where they have all the places I already mentioned. Dave's seconding. He's confirming what I said, and all those places, all the air conditioning went out. The refrigeration in the kitchen, all their vaults, all their freezers, everything went out. And they were moving refrigerated trucks in to house all the food and everything that needed to be kept cold, the meat and whatever. And every 2 weeks they'd have to bring in another truck because those trucks would go out because they couldn't keep up with the heat. It was that bad. The infirmary, the same infirmary that just when this whole thing started, everybody was going in there with the heat rashes and was complaining that they needed some kind of medication or something because their skin is sloughing off and it's horrible, itchy, whatever. It's a mess. And they were saying there was nothing. They were saying that there's not heat rash. They were telling us that it's some kind of some kind of new laundry detergent that they're using, and that it must be a laundry detergent thing because everybody has it. That was their reasoning in the infirmary. Well, everybody has this, so it must be due to some other kind of factor other than the fact that y'all are being housed outside of air conditioning. And then, whenever the AC went down in the infirmary, the same infirmary that had no problems with us going to work and telling us there's nothing wrong with us and all this other stuff, the nurses and the staff quit. They wouldn't come in. They brought in swamp coolers, too, for the infirmary. So the infirmary was actually like a balmy 86 degrees in there. And even that they couldn't handle. It was dangerous for them to be in that environment. So they refused to come into work. Hypocrisy.
It must be nice to not have to, They should.
See, they can declare.
Let us just say we're just going to let you out for the day so you can have some air conditioning.
They can declare their own danger. They're the infirmary staff. They can say, "Oh, this is too hot of an environment for us to work in." But when it came to us, who were living in 20-something degree higher temperatures, at all, I mean, we don't even get to go home at the end of the day like they do to an air conditioning.
How about there? So I was at PAC 2, and it was in the wintertime, and these people would not turn the heaters on in the dorms unless it got below 42 degrees.
Shit, that sounds like heaven.
But it's like, people don't realize, people drive by like Holiday Unit, they're driving, like down 45 and they see all these buildings. And from the outside, you would think that building is air conditioned, right? That big ass metal building. But it's not. It's just a hot box. It's an oven.
Literally a hot box. Those red brick buildings too, the cell blocks. Man, that string filling unit, in the middle of the night, you could walk over to one of those walls, and it's just like a red brick pizza oven.
Yep.
The reason why they use those red bricks is because they retain heat. So even in the middle of the night, these walls are still hot as hell, and they're just
right. I mean,
you could just feel it at a distance. The bars, I can remember. All the middle. At night, you'd grab a bar and you'd be like, "God damn, this thing's hot." Everything.
And even coming in from outside rec. You come in from outside where it's a little windy, you got some air. It's hot outside, but then you come inside and it's stifling because it's just
right. There's nothing no movement.
And I was oftentimes telling people, don't they have OSHA standards? I was always thinking to myself, isn't there some kind of OSHA standard that about heat? There's only so much of a temperature that they can.
Right, but
the employer can work you in, and they got us in a kitchen
They don't care.
with no air conditioning. I mean, imagine cooking. It's already 107 outside, and now you're going to go cook something. Not just cook something, but cook something in a giant cauldron. I remember the female guards, the women, the boss ladies, whatever the heck you want to call them. Then they were dropping like flies that year. They couldn't stand it. That was where the real damage was being done, was with female employees.
They had 35 employees that reported heat-related illness this year too, on top of the 41.
Well, now you get the water coolers, and then you have like the cool area where people can go to or whatever.
Respite areas,
But
they didn't have any of it.
they didn't have any of that. Like first time I went to prison, there's like, you know what? They're like, hey, I need respite. Fuck you. It didn't matter. There was no water coolers. You got water out of the sink. There was no ice, ice jug in the dorm. It didn't happen.
The SSIs weren't walking with pitchers of ice water to a fast mountain. And I'm glad they're doing that. I mean, that's probably saving lives, but it's still no substitute for air conditioning.
No, the Shakedown was produced in luxurious Longmont, Colorado. Envato Elements provided our theme song, Shakedown. If you want to support us, you can find Shakedown shirts, hoodies, and more at waywordpress.com. That's WAYWORD press.com. If you have ideas for future episodes or cool stuff you want to see us make, let us know in the comments on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram at GetTheShakedown.